Back in 2019, Resident Evil 2 Remake launched, and it wasn't just a massive success. It redefined what a video game remake could really be. Capcom struck gold with the perfect formula: modern visuals and mechanics combined with the classic spirit and content fans loved. For many players, including myself, it was the first time experiencing the magic of the original Resident Evil 2 in a fresh new way. Naturally, after seeing what Capcom accomplished, fans began dreaming about a remake of Resident Evil 4. And with RE2 Remake earning a Game of the Year nomination and selling incredibly well, hopes were higher than ever. Fast forward 1 year, Capcom released the Resident Evil 3 Remake, and let's be honest, it didn't hit the same. It was shorter, missing content, and something about the experience felt off. But with both RE2 and RE3 remade, the arrival of a Resident Evil 4 remake was only a matter of time, and in 2023, that dream finally became reality. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Only Thing Gaming channel. Resident Evil 4 is one of the PlayStation 2's most iconic titles. Since its original 2005 release, it has appeared on almost every platform imaginable: GameCube, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, PC, and even mobile devices. This constant availability kept the community alive and passionate for nearly 2 decades. Add to that the incredible modding scene and the dedicated speedrunning community, and it's easy to see why RE4 never faded away. So, bringing this legendary game back in modern form while preserving everything that made it special was no small challenge for Capcom. Today, we're taking a deep look at the remake of Resident Evil 4.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
Resident Evil 4's narrative is brilliantly simple yet deeply engaging. It welcomes newcomers who never played past titles while expanding the lore for longtime fans. The story follows Leon Kennedy after the events of Resident Evil 2. He is no longer the inexperienced rookie. We now see him as a highly trained government agent. Shaped by years of intense top-secret training, his mission: rescue the president's kidnapped daughter, Ashley Graham. And if there's one thing a remake must not ruin, it's the story, right? That's obvious. Fortunately, the remake stays faithful to the original, but it enhances the experience with better writing, improved character development, and fewer cheesy one-liners from Leon. The two characters that benefited the most from the change are Ashley and Louise. Ashley feels more mature and likable, while Louise gets a much larger and more meaningful role, but I won't go into detail to prevent any spoilers. Resident Evil 4's gameplay is legendary, and the remake keeps everything that made it great while modernizing the rest. The third-person perspective returns, but controls have been completely reworked to match modern standards. Leon can move while aiming, weapon switching is faster, and overall, the game just feels smoother and more responsive. Inventory management, one of the most iconic parts of Resident Evil 4 by the way, returns with the smart improvements like auto-sorting, but still allows the classic manual organizing fans love. The beauty of this remake comes from its ability to suit all people. The difficulty system is flexible, making the game approachable for casual players while still offering real challenge for veterans. And RE4's charm has always been its layered gameplay systems. The infantry is practically a minigame, treasure hunting is a minigame, merchant upgrades are a game of their own, and exclusive weapon upgrades completely change the weapon's potential. The original game was successful because it mixed and implemented all of those systems at such a high quality. The remake respects all of that while polishing every aspect. Convenience improvements like sending weapons to storage from anywhere save time without breaking the experience. Backtracking has always been a Resident Evil feature. You will almost always find yourself returning to previous areas with new key items to obtain treasures in most cases. But the game changed those areas by either changing the placement of the enemies to create a new encounter or by changing the way you access the area. The level design is incredible and it's supported by an incredible puzzle design. Boss fight encounters offer some of the best moments in the game. Almost each boss encounter has its own character and build up, but not every aspect in the gameplay is perfect, of course. The shooting in this game can sometimes be frustrating. Aiming can be a bit annoying and drifty, while the hit detection is a bit off. In other words, some of your missed shots might not at all be your fault. There's also the new crafting system and knife mechanics, but I'll save those details for later when we compare the remake versus the original. So, before we move on, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Just like the original, the remake has a thriving modding community. Mods can change character skins, adjust difficulty, alter visuals, tweak performance, expand FOV, and much more. Personally, I only used skin mods such as the hiker hairstyle for Ashley and Ada's black suit. I'll leave links and credits in the description for the mods I used. I'm not the mod installing type of player, I only installed those mods to showcase and talk briefly about modding. The only downsides are the installation process and the fact that mods are exclusive to PC, but aside from that, the modding potential for RE4 Remake is massive. The most obvious improvement is the graphics. 18 years of technological progress speaks for itself. But visuals are only the start. What about other improvements? Well, the remake finally leaves tank controls behind. The original had a third-person camera, but still forced you to rotate Leon before moving sideways, which made movement feel stiff. The remake's control scheme is smooth, modern, and instantly more intuitive. Another thing that was drastically changed is the knife system. In the original, the knife is infinite and can only be used offensively. In the remake, the knife can be used to block incoming attacks and stealth takedowns, but it also can be broken. The knife is just another resource you'll have to manage. Crafting ammunition wasn't a thing in the original. In the remake, they offer a new ammunition crafting system that allows you to mix gunpowder with resources to produce what you need instead of having to rely on random drops. And speaking of drops, in the original, some enemies don't drop loot. That's no longer the case in the remake. With the exception of the intro, every other enemy in the game drops loot. Of course, other things have been changed. You can auto-sort the infantry as we mentioned before, you can't kill the merchant anymore, and most importantly, you no longer have to share your healing items with Ashley. But the important question is, which one is better, the original or the remake? Personally, I prefer the remake mainly for the controls, but that doesn't mean the original game is bad. After all, the remake was built on the original. I'll just say the remake doesn't replace the original because the experience is a bit different, and I'd completely understand anyone who prefers the original game. Just remember, Separate Ways is a paid DLC in the remake unless you buy the deluxe edition, which is kind of disappointing. After all, it was a part of the original game content. Resident Evil 4 Remake looks fantastic. The attention to detail is impressive, and the redesigned environment breathes new life into the world. The graphics settings menu offers a wide range of options. You can find suitable settings for most of today's gaming PCs, so let's take a quick look at performance. Here are my PC specs and the settings I used. The game ran at over 100 FPS in most scenarios. I tested 2 intense areas in the game.
Ashley!
I encountered one major FPS drop in this footage. This problem was solved by restarting the game, but other than this one time, I didn't encounter any real issues. The game runs fine, and it's safe to say it's well optimized. There's even a PS4 version of this game. I tried it briefly back in 2023, and I remember that the experience on PS4 was noticeably inferior to the PC experience. Resident Evil 4 Remake reimagines the classic while learning from the success of RE2 Remake and avoiding the mistakes of RE3 Remake. It became a classic as soon as it came out, and the game is not stopping anytime soon. I think that people are going to mod and speedrun this game for years to come. If you've played the original, the remake is absolutely worth your time. And if you've never played RE4 at all, this is the perfect place to start. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments which version do you prefer, original or remake, and why. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out one of the 2 videos you see on your screen right now.